Hey guys, Southeast Softwash. Today's February the 2nd, and that's fitting because this is take 2 of this video. We did one yesterday and the audio was pretty bad. It actually corrupted the audio when I uploaded it. So we're going to reshoot this video today because this is an important video. It is also the 600th video that I'll be uploading to the channel. So that's pretty cool. So I wanted to make sure this was right. And we're also about 25 subscribers away from 25,000. So maybe out of this video we'll get our 25,000 mark reached. So we're talking about something that's important but also not important at the same time, and that is the difference between this Honda engine that we've used a ton of and a Vanguard engine, which is the rival to the Honda, and some pros and cons. So we've used Hondas for a couple of years now. They need no introduction, very solid engine, but there are some things about the Vanguard that we really like. And the entire reason for this video is we're in 2022, still dealing with a lot of supply chain issues, and these are just about non-existent. I've already got 1,000 guys sending us emails. Hey, I found a motor at Bob's Motor Shop. We're not buying that. A lot of them aren't even to the spec that we need. Like, they'll be the same motor, but they're not key start. So please save your time. We've already looked. But these are getting harder and harder to find, and we're trying to source an engine that meets all of our criteria. Durability's there, warranty's there, the usage factor is there, the spec is there, and also something we can stand behind. And I think that's what we found here in the Vanguard. I had some guys on yesterday's video. It was only posted for about an hour, but they were asking the comments, were we going to go to this as a standard for Southeast Softwash? The answer is probably not. We will probably always use both of these engines because the fact is they're both great engines, and we're just in the age that we're in now, and it's probably going to take a long time to get back to where we can be picky and, you know, I really like X and I'm going to be able to get that all the time. Well, that's not the case anymore. And fortunately, when it comes to the motors, we're not really giving up anything. So this is not a, I'll take what I can get. This is a really solid motor. So I got Richard here, and Richard's more of an engine guru than I am. That's one reason why he's here working with us. Let's talk about the differences between the two as far as, start at the top, output, power.
Got a little more output right here. This is 14 horse, this is 13 horse. And the other option I like is the fuel shutoff is tied in with your throttle control. So when you throttle down, that turned the engine off.
And that's more of a big deal than I ever really gave it credit for, because I guess I've just always gotten lucky running these with the fuel still on after you finish the job and you're going down the road. Guys, the first link in the comments, first link in the description, I'm going to link to a video that Vanguard did, which is a really solid video. They pretty much talked about everything we talked about yesterday, but it was just a better produced video. And that's a big thing because they're going to show a demonstration of fuel getting where?
Into your crankcase.
And hydro-locking the engine.
Depending on what stroke the engine's on, you could end up with a hydro locked up top, but eventually that fuel is going to make it to the crankcase.
Right. So even on the Honda, you can do that. You kill your fuel, run it out. But this, it's built into the shutdown procedure. So that's pretty cool. And talking about that, come in here close and look. The Honda knobs here, you got your choke, your throttle, and your fuel. They're fine. There's nothing wrong with this, okay? It's been around forever. But it's pretty flimsy. It's pretty little flimsy knob. Come over here and take a look at these. It's a much girthier, I guess would be the word. It's just a better switch here on both of these. So I like that a lot better. Another thing, looking at differences here, the key. So key start, we pretty much only use key start stuff. We do use a few pull starts. This will get left in the on position. If you do not remember to cut this back to the off position, your key is going to stay on and it's going to pull juice off your battery. And we've had a lot of customers with that little problem. What's the difference there?
This is a spring-loaded switch. When you turn it over and make connection and let go of it, it goes back to what I call a neutral position.
So you cannot leave the key. No. You're good. You're good. There's no further back spot.
There's no off here. This is your off. This is what will ground the engine and shut it down.
Here's what I think. These guys have been around a long time. They looked at some of this and they said, okay, this is great. What can we improve? Because they had to, because there's a ton of marketing money right here. So to be able to compete, they truly did have to innovate some stuff.
Right.
Another one of those big ones is this. Talk about that.
This is the, I always pronounce it wrong, cyclonic system for air. All your air intake for your carburetor is brought right in through this area right here on this. And I want to show you this filter.
This whole end cap.
Yeah, the whole end cap is where it breathes from. I want to say this is based on a Donaldson air filter design. And this is going to draw air around the entire circumference of that filter. Whereas that I've always felt drawn from the bottom.
Because you've only got this section here, and it pulls air in, it filters it here, which again, guys, it's fine. It's okay. It's not a big deal. We as dudes, we like to nitpick stuff and, oh, I've got to have a Honda, and you really don't even know why you're saying that. And I get it, you know, I'm that way with some things too, but the truth is, this is fine, but we do feel like this is, just being real, you know, this is a better filter.
Just being on a pressure washer application, this probably isn't as important as it is in other applications.
Example, what we were talking about yesterday.
Lawn and garden equipment.
Guys running lawn care with a ton of dust, this is going to probably see more results in that industry than ours, but
right.
It's still nice.
They're boasting a 600-hour lifespan on this air filter, not 30 or 40. I don't suggest doing that, but yeah. I don't think you're going to have a problem with it. That little duct bill, if you were in a dusty environment and drawing dust in, it's going to exit that duct bill.
Another thing we like, talking about like oil changes and stuff. So if we look over here, we've got, Dusty can come right here. So here's your, we'll say dipstick with air quotes around it. Yeah, it does work as a dipstick. You can see the levels right there. Show them the actual regular old dipstick that's more usable on the Vanguard. We get like a true dipstick, and I do like that a lot. That's pretty nice. Another thing with the oil, where do you fill the oil at on a Honda?
Hey, we got to get underneath that cylinder head or under that starter to add oil.
It's in the same spot. Now this is a belt drive. We don't use a lot of these belt drives. Every once in a while we'll get a customer, a skid or trailer customer that just has to have a belt drive. He read it on a forum somewhere. That's fine. We'll get you a belt drive if we can. So this one, you can only put oil really on this side because of the nature of the way everything's laid out. On a gear drive Honda, you can get to both sides and fill it. Well, this one, the Vanguard, it's the same way. You still got option here and one on this side. But you've also got, so this one here, you've also got right here, right there, which is a whole lot easier to get to. And explain what this is. How is this filling the oil?
Well, this is you're going to pour it down through your valve cover. It's just going to naturally flow right down through there to the crankcase.
Very cool.
Just like on your automobile.
Whole lot easier to get to that than this. Again, are things like this like deal breakers? No, it's not. It don't matter. But we like to make things matter. We want to say one is crap, one is great. It's a lot of Ford, Chevy. I'm trying to do this left-handed. It's a lot of Ford, Chevy, Sig Glock, Wrangler versus Levi's. This thing is giving me fits because it's at a weird angle right here. I'm just going to stop because it's going to take me the rest of the video to put the oil cap back on. But we like this engine, guys. If you'll come in here and look, the pump that's on this one is the exact same pump that's on this one. They're putting out the exact, this is a Comet 5535. That's 5.5 gallons a minute, 3,500 PSI. Take a look at this one. Same thing. Comet 5535. Now this is a gear drive setup, but that's neither here nor there for the motor itself. The output's the same. You ain't got to worry about it. This is a solid motor. A little bit of history on these engines. How long have these guys been around?
I wish I'd done a little research. They've been around as long as I've been fooling with engines.
Which is
I mean, I know they've been out there for 30 years.
At least 1,000 years Richard's been
The name, 1,000 years, yeah. The name's been out there. Now, the horizontal shaft engines are pretty recent.
Yeah.
But the track record is pretty hard to beat for the time that they've been in the market.
So, another cool thing about these, and this is just pure happenstance, is the distribution point for these motors is about 40 minutes away from us. Whether or not that's going to help us with supply chain and logistics, I'm sure it can't hurt because it's just literally Dusty, holding the camera, lives about, how far you live from that place? About 1/10 of a mile?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
It's not far. It's right behind Dusty's house. So that's cool, and we like that. You know, if we have an issue, we can make a relationship with these guys pretty easily. They do make some motors in Japan. Is that right? Don't let me say anything wrong. They kind of started and got imported, and now Briggs is making a lot of these stateside.
Yeah.
So there's some that they still make in Japan and Briggs imports, and there's some of their lineup that are actually made in the States.
Correct.
Which is cool. Any final thoughts? Oh,
Hey, I like that.
talk about that.
Hey, this is a quick drain for your carburetor bowl. If you're going to put your engine up for a period of time and you want to make sure you service it up before you do, all you got to do is break that screw loose and it will drain what fuel is inside that bowl. You don't have to take it completely out, just crack it and let it drain out and then tighten it back up.
On the Honda, you have to actually remove
You
the
have
bowl.
to remove that.
Again, it ain't a big deal, but it's kind of a nice touch. It's just little improvements and things. So, regardless of what you get, guys, this is fine. I know some of the other folks in the industry that build equipment, they've been using Vanguards and Hondas kind of interchangeably for years. Kohler's a good motor. I would have no qualms about running. I like the word qualm. I have to work that in there.
Can we spell it?
Yeah, Qualm, I think. Let's check that. But I would have no issues on my personal skid, just sitting right there. It's apples and oranges. Who cares? It's Kohler, Vanguard,
As long as you're
Honda.
staying with an industrial grade engine, I don't see any major failure.
No, we're not going down to Harbor Freight levels of. That's not what this is at all. In fact, price point,
Ah, this engine actually costs more than that.
a little bit more.
A little bit
About
more.
70, 80, 100 bucks
Yeah.
more. Just depends on where you find them at. So, again, we're kind of doing this video because supply chain's crazy right now, and we are going to some Vanguards just to keep production rolling. Do not think for a minute that you guys are screwed and you're getting a junky engine. That is not the case. We wouldn't do that. Hope we've been around long enough with enough of a track record from us. The warranty is the same. What you're getting, we're going to stand behind it either way, and we wouldn't put anything on there we wouldn't run ourselves. So, solid motor. I'm happy with them. We
very
may go
much
to
so.
them in the future
I
as
don't know.
standard.
I wanna
don't
tell
know.
you.
I don't know.
I have worked on a lot of these in my career, a lot. I'm really liking what I'm seeing over here.
He's trying to talk me into it, and we may do that. We may
do.
standardize that, but we'll probably always keep some of these floating around too. It's just take your pick, right? Anything else?
I think you got it.
Look, check out that video down below. That was a really well done. They got some like cutaways, and they're doing some experiment stuff showing different things that can go wrong and how they've kind of engineered some of that stuff out. It was a really neat video. Check that out. There'll be a link down below. We'll see you guys later.